Okay, let's get started and let's do some more Grow Your Strength. Thanks for joining. I'm going to start with breathing and just take some time to settle into the practice ahead. Whether you like the face up position or face down, resting your forehead on your hands, all good. Let's take the time to adjust your posture. I'm just going to close my eyes for a few breath cycles, just relaxing through the face. Adjusting down into the shoulders and low back. Letting the head be heavy and just relax into the floor. Tension through your body. Nice deep breath cycles. And as you exhale, long, slow exhales, just letting everything recoil in. And taking yourself over to hands and knees. We'll take some time to set up neutral back. Spread the fingers and tuck the back toes, and then just lifting the hips up into down dog. Gently rocking back into your heels and then into your hands. Making sure you feel connected through the shoulders, not in a big shrug. Some gentle pulses through both heels, and perhaps then bending one knee and taking yourself to alternating stretches through back side of the legs. And then I've got us taking one leg back. So return to an all fours position and then extend one leg back, tucking the toes under and just gently rocking through that foot. Getting a stretch up through the calf, back of the heel. It's nice and easy. 10 rocks and then we'll switch sides. Coming out of your 10 rocks, we'll take it over to our hips and let's taking the feet a little wider than hip width, starting to let the legs fall side to side. Thanks for showing up for yourself today, taking care of some strength, some mobility, some core strength. Taking time and attention to warm up through all the joints. So for the hips, allowing your knees to fall to the floor. And then taking yourself over to one side, adjusting the postures to about 90 degrees and the way you're sitting so you can lean into different angles of stretch, turning your torso a little more towards your foot is going to give you a deeper stretch into that front hip. Just taking some time to use your arms for support. Find a real sensitive, tight spot. You can hang out there and give yourself another one of those deep breath cycles. As you lean, if you push your leg into the floor, you might find that increases the stretch response through this front hip. That's a good thing. And then working the back hip, I come down to the elbow, just adjusting my posture and start to work what I can by lifting the leg into internal rotation. This is where the movement comes from. Just find your range of motion. And then you can also push down here between the knee and the foot. That also changes the stretch response you feel through here. Just a couple of nasal breaths. A few more rotations, looking good, and we'll take it over to the other side. Same thing. Okay, so adjusting posture, angling yourself towards your foot, perhaps pressing the front leg in. Trying to breathe through and let go of tension with the idea that you're creating some openness through your hip. The more mobility and openness we have, the better range of motion. For our weighted work, that becomes quite important. Just take this time to work the back hip. And push down. Try a few more. Nice work. I'm going to take us to cat-cow this morning. So we're turning here to hands and knees and just slowly rolling through your spine. Rounding up, letting your head be heavy, pushing the floor away, and then slowly going inch by inch through your spine, dropping the front side down. Nothing like too extreme. Whatever feels comfortable, dropping the shoulder blades together, gently looking up. And wherever you're at, let's go through 2 more slow cycles. Being patient with yourself wherever you're at with your body, and we'll take it to half kneeling, and this is the hinge and rock. So taking the front foot out, pivoting the back foot, will be coming down to the down knee side with enough space that you can rock into your hand and then into your hip. And in your hand, just make sure you're not shrugged. So pushing the floor away and drawing the shoulders away from the ears. You can gently turn and look down and look up. And then sitting into the hip, take a deep breath in and come back up. We'll do that one more time on this side. Spread the fingers. Give yourself an opportunity to sit deep into your hip and feel what stretches that brings on. And then over the hand. I had a student the other day ask, are you using your hips to come out of this position? And I said, oh yes, and your core. You know, as you come up, there is definitely a lot going on. So switching sides, front foot wider, back foot pivoted. Give yourself enough space. If you find yourself too close, then just walk your hand out so you've got some room. And then breathing in and out through the nose if you can. Here's that sit into the hips, using my whole torso to bring myself up. But yes, the hips. And we have one more here. So when you're ready, and take the time, make sure you're not shrugging. Gentle backwards. Okay, we'll switch it up to our back and go through, I will say, one of my favorite parts of the class, which is the knee bends and ankle work. So much good carryover from time doing this. The non-working leg can be bent, bust your back or straight. And just make sure this working leg is straight. Shouldn't tuck. There we go, all lined up. You can pull your knee in and flex it and then extend out. Maybe you need to back your leg off so you're not with a bent knee. Be mindful that you're not overextending or hyperextending your kneecap. Spread those toes. Go for about 5 of these. We'll stretch through the back side of the leg. And then holding that extended position, we'll start to work the ankle. Again, just checking that the leg is straight. Spreading the toes. Transition to my ankle rolls, sole of the foot in and out. So different angles. Into a few circles. Try and keep the legs still. A couple each way. Interesting how much the leg wants to move there. All right, switching it up. Realign the posture. Go back. Knee hug. Find that extension. Great. Opening up the ankle. With the leg in the extended position, spread the toes. Rolls. Focusing on keeping the legs still, circle around. Just keep breathing. My favorite part is over. Okay, we're going to go to half kneeling bent press technique. I'm going to use a ball for this. And you can use a light weight. When you feel comfortable with the technique, you can start to increase the weight. So taking the front foot wide, similar to that warm-up move and pivoting the back foot across the midline. You take the weight or ball to the up knee side. Here's the first part. You just open the shoulder, and then I like to rotate just a tad in that same direction. Now you're coming to either your hand or your elbow, depending on how that feels. You can sit deep into your hip, take a breath, and come upright. Now find that connection through your torso. Some of us need to tuck the hips under and pull the arm back down. So open, rotate, hinge to the hand or down to the elbow, sitting into the hips. Come upright, nice strong shoulder, and pull. So it's coordinating a lot of movements. Shoulder, hip, neck, gently looking, turning my head and looking up as I'm hinged here. And then as I come up, I look straight ahead. And then pull, pull, pull. Oh, looks great. Okay, let's switch sides. Now give yourself some space. Walking your front foot out and pivoting makes it easier for you to move into your hips. Weight to the up knee side. Open, rotate. Here we go. It's using some breath to the imposed demand. You're just using a ball. You don't have to over breathe. This exercise can be done as a more of a strength exercise with weight, and we might take a little more attention to the breath, pressure, and bracing as we go through heavier reps. Oh, that's really beautiful. Okay, bear, plank, mountain climbers, and a lower. You've been following along with this program the last few weeks. What week is this? This is week 5. I've gone through some surgery on my arm, so I haven't been loading, but the good news is I'm feeling better. It's coming along. 3 weeks, and I feel like I can load it a bit today. So here we go. Bear hold, tucking the toes, finding neutral back, taking yourself through 3-ish breath cycles. How does it feel? Shoulders are connected. Now you can rest and shake out your wrists, or you continue this as a flow and step back into a high arm plank. Again, little connection through the shoulders, maybe activating the hips a little bit. Here's a mountain climber, taking one foot off and drawing the knee underneath your hip, trying to keep the hips level. And for some, they'll have the ability to slowly lower to the floor, perhaps putting a pillow underneath your front side. And if that doesn't feel right, then just take it from the plank and break. Okay, we'll shake out the wrists and we'll just do that series one more time. So some circles, open fingers. All these moves require our wrists to be extended, so it's nice to flex them a little bit. Sometimes I'll just tuck my hands out with the palms up there and get the counter movement happening. Okay, then spread the fingers, find the back, and we're lifting the knees off again for the bear. Nasal breathing, nice and deep. Can you feel the expansion and the recoiling? Breathe out hard. Full inhale. Break if you need to, or step back into your plank. Try a mountain climber. And a variation of a lower. Next up is our get up practice. Today I'll go with a full get up. I'm going to take a ball. And if you don't do a full get up and you need to modify, you can stop at any of the stages. So this is what I mean by that. Right knee bent, right arm up, shoulders connected. Got a nice lineup of my rib cage. Everything feels good. Take a breath and take an easy roll to the elbow. So maybe that's as far as you go. You could come back down or up to the hand, adjusting the hand so that you can take the weight between your hand and your foot, lifting up and through. And again, you could stop at any point and start to just reverse the move. Coming into the half kneeling position, I line up my front foot, pivot my back foot, and tuck my back toe. This is where I would take a deep breath in and stand tall. Focusing on something always helps. So I look at something on the wall in front of me, step back, get control of my toes, and then soft knee to land. Way to go. That was awesome, Shelly. And then just take the front foot, open, take yourself through to your hand, hip through to your hip, down to the elbow, no shrugging as you roll away. Switching sides. Remember, this is a practice. There's no perfect get up. You just practice connecting the shoulders, loading, breathing, working your core, your balance, your lunge. You can see that there's just a lot of elements to this sequence. A little bit of brain gym to learn it initially and keep going. Not getting frustrated. Trying as you go through the different stages. Well done. Okay, now we're moving to the double. So this is the option of putting a loop band on for the bridge and perhaps adding some weight across the crease of the hips. Grab a dumbbell. Hip extension exercise. Both feet on the ground. You don't have a band and you don't have weights. This can be done without either of them. Have your feet wide enough that you can work to push the knees out into the band with a little bit of work. You always want to take the time to adjust the posture through the neck and low back. So you're not flattening your back, but you're just decreasing the curve if you have an exaggerated curve so you feel your torso is engaged. Here's the weight across the crease of the hips. And I'm going to bridge up and down, pushing out into that band. Makes it a lot harder. But always take a break and let the knees float in. And then when you're ready, reset and keep going. 10 to 12 reps. Okay, and then keeping the band on, we'll come up to standing. And today we're going to do the taps to the side on a 45-degree angle and in reverse. This work is done from a slight hinge position. So I'm taking my leg out to the side and tapping. If you wanted to make it harder, you could not touch the floor, but more important than touching or not touching is that you don't lose the connection in through your base foot and your knee, okay? So there's a lot going on to not do this. Push, separate. Taking it back on an angle, using reciprocal arms, thinking about mind muscle. Like I'm thinking, okay, yeah, I'm using my hip. I'm also using my base leg hip to stay stable. And then with the reverse tap, tighten up here. I felt quite a lot of work through my base leg there. So just give myself a moment to shake it out. Switch sides. .45. And reverse. And taking it into some banded squats. Nice and slow. Breathing in, pushing the knees into the band, creating space for your hips to go down. I like to inhale down, exhale up. Wherever you're at, let's do a couple more, and then we'll do one more set of the bridges down on the floor. All happy hip strength. Okay, so sleep mindful. Coming back to the floor with the band. How did the weight feel the first time? You know, I think I mentioned in a previous class that these weighted hip bridges, if as long as they feel okay on your back and you work your way up, you can easily put more weight here. And it's a great way to build strength. You got to check your posture and your body's reaction over time. And here we go. Chin tuck, connected core, push out into the band, lift. As I lift, I'm tightening up the butt cheek, down, release. Quality reps. Okay, and then let's take the band off on the floor. Just give ourselves a little bit of a knee hug and an egg roll. Do a little breathing in reverse tabletop before we go to standing. So reverse tabletop, knees float over the hips, hands come up and you anchor in the shoulders. And just start by dialing in those breath cycles again. If you feel like you have a good connection through your torso and your breathing is fluid, then take the arms and legs and just give them a little diagonal reach, gently turning your head. Nice safe exercise to build some core strength. Don't have your arms and legs go so far that you arch your back off the floor. Just keep in control. You can bring your knees in and roll again. Let's do one more of those before we come to standing. So start by setting up your posture. Chin, anchoring in the shoulders and shoulder blades. Hands and feet are relaxed. Okay, some reaches. Anything goes. You can go a little wider with both, or overhead, north-south, east-west, diagonal, turning your head. Wonderful. Feel like you get a good activation of that torso. All right, so from here, we'll come up to standing. I'm going to start with reverse lunge, weight on the moving leg side. About 6 reps is the suggestion. Take the weight to the right, weight on the moving leg side. Sheila? Okay, step back. Control of your balance, dropping the knee to a depth you can control. You can stay upright so your knee floats over your ankle, or load it by coming a bit more forward. That feels okay. Here we go. Change sides when you're ready. Nice work, everyone. Okay, weight goes down. I'll take us into a balance reach. So whether you decide to reach to a piece of furniture or into the air, try and keep the level of your shoulders and the level of your hips square. 3 balance reaches per side. Looks great. Little water break if you need it, and we're going to go through those 2 exercises again. So, weight, shoulder, reverse lunge, and balance reaches. So I'm connecting my feet, opening up my toes, step back. Inhale on the reverse and lowering part, like inhale now. Exhale as you come up to standing. That's going to help support your pelvis with that intra-abdominal breath. To 6 reps. Excellent. It's a little harder to do work with the weight just on one side because your side core is working to stay level and balanced. Working to a depth that feels okay, not working through any pain. Good. Balance reaches. 3 per side. Using a piece of furniture as a guide is a good idea. If you need it, that feedback. Inhale as I reach. Exhale, come back up top. Next up, we're going into an anchored row. So I'm going to take a weight in a staggered position. So weight is in the left hand, left foot back. Here's my anchor. I can put my hand on my fireplace. It could be a wall. It could even be your thigh, right? Okay, so it could be anything like that. You feel connected. You're in a slight hinge position. The back is long. And just working the elbow to the side, trying to activate all the muscles through the back side of the shoulder. Modify the reps based on the demand. So 6 to 10. Good. Switching sides. We'll do some side bends after this. So taking yourself out of your row, perhaps it'll be the same weight, just standing with good posture and then leaning into the weighted side. Be mindful you haven't locked out your knees. And back up to 6 of these, just nice and slow. And then feel the work through the side waist as you come back up. Posture looking straight ahead. I feel like that one always feels good. Okay, let's go to push-ups or a push-up variation. It could be something off of a wall or the floor. You could make your plank position, pull yourself in, feel your shoulder blades come together, push away. If you're on the floor, could be somewhat like our warm-up plank lowers, or a partial push-up, or a full push-up. I like what I'm seeing. Be always thinking about the whole shoulder complex being part of the push-up, not just the arms. So working those shoulder blades together and apart is an important piece. Okay, so let's go through this again. We'll start with the staggered row. So coming into that slight hinge position, staying out of the neck, squeeze, finish the elbow at the side of your body. Up to 10 reps based on the demand. Taking some time to do your side bends once you finish your row. Yesterday, I was walking by a doctor's office and was just happened to look in, and underneath the reception desk, there was a big long sign about 6 feet long. In fact, I think I'm going to go back and take a picture of this, but it said, exercise is the best medicine, 150 minutes of exercise and 2 strength training sessions a week. And that's what it said, right? And I was just like, right on, right in the doctor's waiting room. Okay, so we know that exercise is good for our health. Exercise is medicine is one of those phrases that's been out for a while. And then our push-ups. Okay, so remember the shoulder blades. Our last set of push-ups. We're moving on after this. The fingers. Tighten up the hips. Wherever you are at in your push-up plank practice is just building to become a stronger version of yourself. One-sided deadlift. So taking a weight on one side. It can be a dumbbell that you move in a hinge position from the top down. It could be a kettlebell from the floor, squaring up the shoulders and hips, taking that breath in and lifting. Make sure you come all the way up to full posture. Use your breath. Inhale, open up. You don't want to lean or twist on the one-sided work. Getting this side nice and strong. Good. Next up, I'll take us through the shoulder series. And if you have light weights that you'd like to use, 1 or 2 pounds. If you're stronger, perhaps up to 5 pounds. But body weight works for this. You can have just a good standing position. Externally rotate, internally rotate. Watch your knees aren't locked out and that you're just looking straight ahead. Do about 6 of these moves, then opening elbows to the side, pull back down, the up, the down. Holding the elbows at 90 degrees, can you go into external rotation without changing your posture? What's your range? I think most people probably find this one the hardest. Be mindful that you're not activating your neck. Start to feel anything, then just switch it up. And then here's our full overhead range of motion. And I'm going to take us back to the deadlift. So this is the hip strengthening core exercise. If you're new to deadlifts, you might feel like the hip hinge is something that's not as comfortable as the squat, where the knees go forward and down. One weight in the center is going to be easier than one-sided, but the hinge and the motion is the same. So one side is a little harder. Stand tall and tightening up my hips, getting tall, anchoring in my shoulder. Take another breath in, reset. If getting to the floor feels too difficult, then you just elevate the weight on some magazines, hard box, creative. Excellent. Okay, now we'll go to an overhead press. Now you're taking a weight that you can press 5 times overhead. Feet hip width apart. Have a higher rep range, up to 10 if your weight was quite light. Overhead and back to the shoulder. Breathe. Listen to your body. Not too easy, not too hard. I'm going to do some curtsy lunges today. So taking some weight for the curtsy lunge. Take a dumbbell in each hand. I'm going to stick with just the curtsy today. So I'm coming back up to posture. So I take my leg, sweep it, get control of my toes, pull myself down. I'm going to do 5 and then switch sides. And I'm breathing in as I step back and down. Exhale as I come up. Looks great. Back to the press. How did the rep range and weight feel the first time? And stick with the same thing. Trying to keep your posture, not leaning back to the side. So nice and solid through your feet. I'll take us to 1, 2, 3 freeze. This is the move where I like to kind of challenge my hip and my balance by changing the angles and having a quick freeze every third step. So it's 1, 2, 3 on my left, on the right. And just taking some time to freeze and make sure you have control of your balance. We'll go for another 20 seconds. Use your arms and change the angle, maybe go out to the side. I'm going to finish today with what I call extension reaches for posture, taking the feet a little wider than hip width. Slowly bring the arms back and then reaching the fingertips for the roof as you lift the heels. Trying to get some control through all the muscles of your feet, opening up the toes. Any pace. Go for another 20 seconds before we say goodbye. Excellent. Well, I want to thank you for growing your strength with me in the group today. Well done.